Last night to the crushing scene. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who was guarding Halliburton on that play, spoke about it after the game.
My heart dropped for him. Like, I couldn't imagine playing the biggest game of my life and something like that happening. It's so unfortunate. It's not fair. But competition isn't fair sometimes. But yeah, I just felt so bad for him. And just asked if he was okay. Obviously, he wasn't. But prayers go out to him for sure. Hell of a player.
He authored one of the great individual playoff runs in the history of the NBA. With dramatic play after dramatic play, it was just something that no one's ever seen.
Yeah, Danny, I would echo those sentiments of Rick Carlisle. Postseason to remember for Halliburton. In case you need a reminder, first round, Game 5 against the Bucks, trailing by 7, 40 seconds left in OT. Halliburton beat Giannis on the game winner.
From Mr. Overrated to Mr. Clutch. He had time and time again, clutch basket after clutch basket all throughout the whole postseason. Second
round against the Cavs in Game 2 on the road. Another 7-point comeback here. Left his mark in this one with a step back.
Anytime the game was on the line, he wanted the ball, and he showed why.
Conference Finals, this is the shot everybody's going to remember.
This was the one.
At the Garden.
Don't do him like that and give him the Reggie choke sign.
Sent them to OT and then finished the deal there.
Iconic moment.
And then Game 1 of the Finals, I'm right there at that scorer's table. I had a perfect view of that. 0.3 seconds left.
You don't see that often for the mid-range game winner.
What a pull-up there. And a clutch run unlike anything we've ever seen from Tyrese Halliburton.
Unbelievable.
With Halliburton's 26th season, Danny, in jeopardy, the Pacers have 15-1 odds to return to the finals at the moment. 6 shortest odds in the conference. The Cavs, Knicks, Magic, Celtics, and Sixers all have shorter odds to be East champs. Our front office insider, Bobby Marks, joining us now. The Pacers had an amazing run, as we highlighted there, Bobby, but this Halliburton injury puts a real dark cloud over their future. So, Bobby, how do things look for Indy heading into the offseason?
Well, I think, George, it certainly starts with the free agency of Miles Turner, the top center on the free agent market. What happens with Miles Turner in light of this Tyrese Halliburton injury? As Brian and Shams had reported, Indiana was willing to pay the luxury tax to bring Miles Turner back. They have not done so since 2006. What happens with Turner? This market is not great out there unless you are re-signing with your own team. And if Turner does re-sign, what happens to the future of Benedict Mathurin, who is rookie extension eligible? He could be a free agent in the 2026 offseason. And then certainly Aaron Nesmith, who has 2 years left on his contract and is also extension eligible for up to 3 years, $64 million. Remember, the strength of this Indiana team was their bench. And does the Halliburton injury coupled with a Turner new contract, does that diminish moving forward here?
So, Bobby, the East is wide open as we go into next season, more so than I can remember for sure. Where do the Pacers stack up in the East moving forward here?
You know what, George? I had 3 revisions for their offseason article going into last night, and we had to write a 4th one based on the Halliburton injury. And
yeah, I think when you look at the Pacers, they're clearly one of the deepest teams in the league. So on one hand, you know, they can survive an injury, but on the other, they are so geared toward the way Tyrese Halliburton plays with their high-speed attack. They've really built their entire team around Halliburton. When Rick Carlisle got there to be the head coach, his #1 priority was to get a point guard, specifically Tyrese Halliburton, who he wanted to draft in Dallas before he left the Mavericks. And so I believe the Pacers are still going to be extremely formidable with this team. The question, as Bobby, raises, is I do think they're going to prioritize re-signing Miles Turner. The question is, will they go into the luxury tax to do so? Meaning, would they take another player, potentially that would push him in the luxury tax, and trade him to save money? That's probably something that they're having hard conversations and considering after they deal with taking care of Tyrese Halliburton having surgery very soon to get that addressed.
Danny, it's interesting to Brian's point about the offense being his, basically. Rick Carlisle famously had not turned the reins over to very many point guards. He did that with Halliburton from their first dinner together when he got traded from Sacramento. So certainly a big blow to them in that regard.
Definitely, but I got to give Pascal Siakam a lot more credit. And also their backup. Bob Myers said something when I was watching the finals. they have some of the 2 best backup point guards in the league with Nembhard and T.J. McConnell. They're going to get their money's worth out of these 2 guys. So this team is still a very good team, top 6 team in my eyes as a playoff for next year. The East is wide open. And because of the chemistry and the bond they have, the gel they have, they could be a sleeper team to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals again, like a Miami Heat has done in the past. So I like what they have. I like the depth they have. They signed Nesmith back and Mathurin back, keep Miles Turner. This is a really good group and a team that's definitely a playoff perspective and could be a sleeper that can get into that Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, Kevin Pritchard's done a phenomenal job building that roster for sure. So coming up next, though, on NBA Today, the NBA never sleeps. Kevin Durant on the move to Houston. We'll debate if the Rockets are now the biggest challenger to OKC's hold over the West. Plus, check out Malika's exclusive conversation with the newly minted Finals MVP, SGA. And it was a season for the history books. Where does Shea's year rank amongst the greatest individual seasons in NBA history? Our guy, Windy, has the answer. NBA Today rolls on.